Alright. If you clicked on this video, watch it to the very end. Regardless if you have lost someone close to you or not, I highly suggest you watch it until the end, because you will lose someone close to you eventually. You know what I mean? Because death is a part of life. You know, death is an illusion too, by the way. And I'm going to explain that. In this society, you know, it's a three-dimensional world. We are human beings. We come here, we have a human experience. We are spiritual beings. And then we come here and we live this life and we get attached, and people get attached to us, and they don't get attached to our true selves because we don't know our true selves. So they get attached to a fake version of us. They get attached to these shells, whatever these things are, these, you know, creatures that we embody ourselves in as spiritual beings. They get attached to us, and then, you know, we pass away, and then people idolize us, and, you know, they get us tatted, they put our faces on their shirts because we have passed. And I'm talking in third person right now, you know what I'm saying, as if I'm not even me. But just bear with me. When you die, your soul is eternal, so you're not dying. Your body is just expired, and your soul is ascending to another level, right? And once you understand that awareness, obviously it's way deeper than that. When people die in this three-dimensional world, their death will be celebrating for you. Them dying will be you celebrating their life, for you celebrating their new life, for them ascending from 3D to 5D. You know what I'm saying? And obviously you'll miss them. You'll miss the times you had. You'll miss those phone calls. You'll miss being in their presence. You'll miss the activities, the reaching out and stuff like that. But once you understand at a deeper inner level that death is an illusion, right? To the eyes, it makes us feel like they disappeared, they gone, they can't see us, they can't hear us, and it's nothing, and it's just forever, just gone, right? And they just wiped out like they never was even here. Right, that's what society pushes onto us, and that's what we be thinking when people die sometimes, and we just crash out and we go crazy, you know. And I'm not here to be an ass crack about it, excuse my language. I'm here to tell you that my perspective of it, you know what I'm saying? And if you haven't lost anyone close to you, that's why I say you will someday, you know what I mean? Like, death is, and it's part of life, you know, change. You know, it's a different level spiritually. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because it really, something motivated me to be vulnerable with y'all and to talk about the loss of my grandmother. You know what I mean? Me and her is very close. She took me in when I was 13 years old. I was staying with her up until 2023, and then I moved out. Then my grandma had cancer, I guess, and she never told nobody about since 2015. It started getting to her up until 2023, so she decided to get a blood marrow transplant so she could live longer. And she expected it to last only 2 weeks. She ended up being there for a month, and then being in there after a month, being in there for like 8 months, and then being in there for like 10 months, and then ended up passing away 2024, February 3rd, approximately at 11:44 a.m. So she got a blood marrow transplant. She kept getting bacteria in and out of her blood, and she passed away. Now, her passing did throw me in for a loop. When I was staying with my grandmother, I would let the devil just be thinking too much, just in my head too much. Like, what am I gonna do? My grandma gone. I don't know how I'm gonna act. I don't know how I'm gonna live without her. Like, I love my grandma. And then I'll get in my head so much that I wouldn't even be in the present moment. I'll be too busy thinking about the day that she's gone instead of just being in the present moment and just taking the time and being with her, actually. And I'm telling y'all, based off of experience, if you love someone, if you care, don't wait. Don't wait. Do it now. Tomorrow's not promised. Not even the next 3 hours is promised. We put too much faith into these worldly things. We need to put faith into God. 444 and know that God has us. You know what I'm saying? And these are things that I had to realize when my grandma was in the hospital. I'm so glad, by the grace of God, that God has placed strength in me And he has moved through me and walked with me through her passing, through her being in the hospital, because it was a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot, like, emotionally. And then, if you know about my childhood, me and my mom kind of had a rocky relationship, so it was never really solid. And she wasn't really emotionally there. She wasn't emotionally there for herself. My mom went through it, so I couldn't really expect someone to be there for me if they really couldn't fathom to be there for themselves. You know what I mean? And like I said in my last video, some of my testimony will tap in. I wasn't like shunning my mother or putting her down, like, you know what I mean? But it's just that, so I, by the grace of God, I was happy that I got that placed in me. My grandma was in and out the hospital. I was sad. I didn't really want to go see her like that because, she was changing. She was looking different. She was looking like she was dying. She was looking old, so I didn't want to see that. So I kind of just backed off and I just kept praying. I cried the most when my grandma was in the hospital, y'all. Like, I couldn't even, I cried the most. I was so scared. I was so sad. Something just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? And, that's why I kind of stopped doing the YouTube, because I really needed to grasp and hold on and really understand myself and my emotions. And I want y'all to know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Don't rush yourself. Don't rush your emotions. Allow yourself to sit in it, to feel it. If you want to cry, sit in it and feel it. Because the moment my grandma passed away, it was a lot for me. It was a lot. You know what I mean? I wasn't like crashed out. I was just more like numb and just sad and just like, life is so real, bro. And people take life for granted. It was like a rude awakening moment. You know what I mean? And then I got closer to God 2024 because she died right in that's like, I started my 2024 with my grandma passing away. You know what I mean? And I don't want no sympathy, because this is part of life. These are things that happen. I'm telling y'all this so you guys can take what I say and have some type of oomph in your life. You know what I mean? Like a reason to keep going. You know what I mean? That things are gonna happen. You're gonna lose people, but you just gotta see the positive outlook on negative situations. Yes, losing someone we don't want it. It's negative, but it's inevitable. It's part of life. So we gotta look at the positive aspect of it. It's only negative because we want them to stay. We want them here forever. But then my grandma was suffering too at the same time. So I think that's what brought a lot of weight off my shoulders too. You know what I mean? And I think that's what brought a lot of peace with me with my dad passing away. My dad passed away at 23. It's because, living in this life, it's a lot of suffering if you don't find self. You know what I mean? And like me just awakening spiritually and being the way I am, thank you, God. It's like I'm breaking generational curses. You know what I mean? May not be financially right now, but I'm doing something way deeper than that. Something way better than money. You know what I'm saying? But my grandma passing has taught me a lot. I feel like I said, I did the most crying when she was in the hospital. And then after she got out the hospital, I'm bugging. She got out of the hospital, she just passed away. But after she passed away, like, first she was in the hospital, right? She was in the hospital. She got moved to she kept getting diseases, and then not diseases, bacteria in and out of her blood, an infection in and out of her blood. And I guess when those happen, there ain't no going back. I never knew that, right? So basically, she ended up getting really sick. She get RSV too. She got RSV. My grandma had asthma, so she had RSV. She was on a breathing machine too. It was so, Grandma, I love you so much. I'm so sorry that the way that you went out wasn't what you expected, but I know that you are okay. You know what I mean? And dang, getting emotional. It's okay, I'm being vulnerable. It's okay to cry. It's okay to not be okay. You feel me? It's one of those topics where stuff get real. You know what I'm saying? She got sick. She had RSV. She kept getting bacteria in and out of her blood and stuff like that. Grandma was going through it, but my grandma was a fighter though. She was a fighter. She fought all the way into the end. She tried her best. She got moved to the ICU. Not even 24 hours later, they moved her to comfort care. I swear, when they say you learn something new every day, you do. That's if you I could say seek it, because you can still seek something. I don't know, but you learn something new every day. Put it like that. I didn't even know what comfort care was. I thought comfort care, thought she was good, thought she was getting out, thought she was getting comforted, saying no, okay, let me let me put y'all on real quick if you don't know what this is. Comfort care is when you are in the ICU. ICU is basically critical condition where they have to be attentive to you listen, it could be anywhere from every 5 minutes to every, no. I think the minimum is like every 10 minutes. It could be anywhere from every 10 minutes they checking on you to every hour, okay? That's what ICU basically is. You in critical condition and you just got to get monitored more. Like really, really, really monitored more than anybody in the hospital. That's what ICU is. Grandma was in that. Then they took her out of that. She wasn't even in that for like 24 hours. They said us trying to help you is hurting you. So they moved her from ICU to comfort care. Mind you, comfort care is, listen to me when I say this, comfort care is when they take you off everything. The only thing they'll leave on you is a breathing machine, because obviously if you can't breathe, they take it off. That's basically, they basically killing you, right? It's like you can't breathe. Who want to go out not breathing? You know, if you ever had an asthma attack and can't breathe, you know it's scary. It's like you dying slow and you know you dying. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you know what I mean? So basically, I think that's the only thing in comfort care that can only be stabilized within a human, right? Is the breathing machine, the oxygen tank. So they took my grandma off everything and she just had an oxygen tank. And you know, my mom had told me that or whatever. And when I found out what comfort care is, it's basically they take you off everything and they keep you on an oxygen tank, or if you don't need one, they just take you off everything and they let you die peacefully. And they fulfill your needs. They get you whatever you know, a meal or piano music or your favorite show or that nasty little caffeine ginger ale they be having at the hospital. That's what comfort care is. If you in comfort care, you about to go basically, and they just comfort you in your care. Now, I'm not saying you can't come back from that, from comfort care, because by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? If you believe in miracles, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you could come back from comfort care, but unfortunately, my grandma didn't come back from comfort care. She got moved to comfort care and passed away with not even 24 hours of being in comfort care. Like, she passed away, not even 24 hours of being in comfort care. And before my grandma passed away, okay, my dog passed away. Her name was Brady. It was a shared dog. I don't care. You know, you fall in love, you need money, and then they have a pet, and it's your pet too, okay? Yes. Brady passed it away at 4 a.m. the same day my grandma passed, February 3rd. And I have built a bond with Brady. You know, dogs are companions. They're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And what I want y'all to know is that basically, my mom called me and she was like, "You gotta get to the hospital. Your grandma's she's about to go. Your grandma about to go." So I'm rushing to the hospital. I call an Uber. I put these very pants on. Look, these pants on. I had these pants on. Obviously they clean right now, but I threw these pants on. I didn't have no underwear and I rushed to the hospital. I told the Uber lady, I said, "Listen," I said, "I know you gotta drive safe." I said, "Can you please get me to the hospital as quick as you can? My grandma about to die, and I need to be there." You know what I'm saying? And that lady got me there the most quickest and safest way, and I appreciate you. You feel me? I don't know her name. I didn't tip her. That morning was blacked out for me. Like, I wasn't even thinking about none of that. You know what I'm saying? It was just straight tunnel vision, me trying to get to my grandma. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over here just like, oh my God, like, oh. So I get to the hospital. My grandma's in the bed. She's like this, like that with her mouth open, breathing just like that. And as soon as I got to the hospital, y'all, like, I was already crying, bro. I got to the room and I seen her and I just started boo-hoo crying, boo-hoo crying, boo-hoo crying, because I knew it was over. I went around to her hospital bedside and I got on my knees and I just was crying. I don't even remember if I prayed, but I know I was crying. And I had to leave the room. I had a mean headache. I called my cousin James and I was like, "I need you to come. Like, grandma about to die. I know you at work, but like, I need you right now. This is like serious," because that's his grandma too. You know what I mean? So he came and we in the lobby mom's husband called me, and I felt like she was about to go, so I had to go to the lobby because I didn't want to see her take her last breath. So stepdad called me, was like, yeah, Jayla, she gone. She just took her last breath. And I was like, all right. And I hung up, and I was walking upstairs. I could feel my whole body shaking. Everything was blurry. It was like a movie, yo. Like, yo, movies have good descriptions, I swear. Like, how it is in a movie when people lose people and they walk in the hospital and be all blurry in the movie. It was like that. It was crazy. And I'm just crying. And then when I seen her, you know, I gave her a kiss. You know, I rubbed her and stuff like that. Then I left out the room. Everybody was still in the room talking and laughing. I don't know how they was doing it, but I couldn't do it. And I was just like, bro, like, I just was numb. I couldn't no more. I couldn't cry no more. I had a headache. I was just there. I was just stuck. I've never felt this way in my life. I didn't know what to do. I just lost my grandmother, my mom. She was like my mother to me. It was a lot. Like, you know, I'm over here. I'm still staying with, you know, my ex. And she was my girlfriend at the time. And it's just like, it's rocky between me and her. And I don't know anymore. And it's just a lot of stuff. And I'm just like, bro, what's going on? And I just want y'all to know, God had a plan for me. For real, for real. God had a plan for me. Really did, man.